Hey YouTube, hey Young and the Restless fans. So what can we look forward to this week, July 1st to the 5th, the 4th of July week? Happy 4th, everyone. Well, let's get into it because Jack and Victor's feud is going to reignite in a big way this week. And of course, now we know that Victor has poached Kyle, kind of, sort of, okay? Diane fired Kyle, and now, of course, Victor has Kyle working with Audra at Glissade, and he wants to use Glissade to go after Jabot, Kyle's family company. So this is really intriguing and messy, and there's a lot going on here, so let's get into it. So Jack is gonna find out, and of course, he's going to be very upset about this, and it also looks like he's going to confront Kyle about this, and we'll see what Kyle tells Jack. Maybe Kyle will tell Jack that this is a good landing spot for him. This is a good opportunity for him. Things just didn't work out at Jabot with Diane. Of course, Diane fired Kyle for insubordination, okay? And didn't tell Jack about it either, right? She just kind of took the initiative on her own, and Jack wasn't very happy about that. And also this week, Diane is going to be held accountable for her actions. So what does that mean? Does that mean that Jack is going to hold Diane responsible for all of this? And now Kyle being over and working for the enemy, okay? There's an idea that Jack will even fire Diane, but I don't think that's going to happen. There's enough chaos going on at Jabot, and Jack needs all hands on deck right now with Victor coming after him, okay? So we can look forward to some confrontations this week between Jack and Kyle, maybe Jack and Diane, and of course, Jack and Victor. Victor's going to play his cards close to the vest too this week, and he's also gonna strike another deal with Kyle. So what does that mean? Of course, we know that Kyle wants to be the sole CEO of Glissade, but that's not what Victor wants. I don't think that's what this deal is gonna be. It looks like Kyle and Audra will end up working together as co-CEOs, but you never know. There's definitely some history there between Kyle and Audra. There's mistrust there, as would be understandable. But it looks like the two of them are going to work together, and it looks like Kyle has something to prove against his former company, his family company, Jabot. Of course, Michael too is gonna confide in Diane. So what does that mean? We know Victor has this plan to get Michael to get closer to Diane and Cole to get closer to Kyle, although that's already worked out because Kyle now is on board with Glissade. So maybe Cole's assignment is over, right? But now Michael has to get closer to Diane, but they're already friends, so we'll see what Michael says to Diane, what he's gonna confide in her. Is he gonna confess and come clean about Victor's plan? We'll have to keep an eye on that. Of course, Jack too now is going to, he's going to apparently hold Diane accountable for her actions. We'll have to see exactly what that means, but Jack could end up turning more to Nikki, okay? And in the previews, we see Nikki and Jack together, and obviously Jack is upset about the turn of events with Kyle now working for Victor. And Nikki's gonna tell Jack that, she wants to be there for him the way he was for her, okay? So we could see now if Jack starts to blame Diane for some of this, maybe Jack turns more towards Nikki. And if he does, that's certainly gonna create tension between Jack and Diane. Over with Summer this week, she's gonna enlist Nick and Phyllis's help. So we'll see what that's all about. We know Summer is unhappy with the situation with Claire and now with Audra, right? We saw Summer confront Audra, but Summer is going to go over and visit Harrison, and Harrison is going to camp, so he had his first day of camp. There's going to be a little bit of a disagreement there between Summer, Kyle, and Claire too, but they should work that over. But Summer's not going to be happy about Kyle working with Audra and is going to question him. And Summer too is going to threaten a custody issue, okay? And she's going to possibly take some legal action. We don't know if she is just yet, but she's going to turn to Nick and Phyllis, her parents, for help. So we know Phyllis wants to protect her kids, and the whole thing with Daniel and Megasphere and all of that has kind of sorted out. So I don't know if Phyllis is gonna put her energies into that, but she could put her energies into this now with this issue, with this custody arrangement. Although Phyllis isn't a lawyer or anything, but We know Phyllis has her ways of helping out her kids, so we'll see what Phyllis is able to do and what Nick does too, and how far Summer is willing to go here. And speaking of that, how far is Kyle, right, willing to go after his family company Jabot? And is Kyle just now, is he getting caught up in Audra's web now? And speaking of that, Nate is going to get tangled up with Audra, and sparks are gonna fly between Nate and Audra this week. So it looks like their friendship is going to go to the next level. And of course, with Audra and Kyle working together now, you wonder about romance there, but it looks like Audra and Nate are definitely going in that romantic direction. And speaking about sparks flying, over in Baltimore with Traci and Adam, of course, we see in the preview that they're going to kiss, and that they're going to reminisce about their past a little bit. It looks like one thing is going to lead to another, and they're going to have an intimate moment. But Traci and Adam are also going to make a pact. So it looks like they're going to vow to keep this a secret from their partners, okay? Of course, Adam is with Sally and Traci is with Billy, okay? So it looks like they're going to be lying to their partners, so that doesn't bode well for the future of those pairings, okay? And it looks like Sally and Billy could share some more scenes together too. And of course, Sally and Billy are, the partners that are being lied to, right? So they kind of have something in common too. So if they end up coming together, that would kind of make some sense too. But it looks like, just thinking ahead, it looks like maybe Adam and Sally aren't meant to last, and Billy and Traci maybe aren't either. Billy, of course, is going through a lot at Chancellor Winters with Lily. Maybe Billy and Lily are heading on a path together, and who knows, maybe Sally and Billy could be a thing. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well. But speaking of Chancellor Winters, it looks like we're going to have that vote, and it looks like Jill is going to be outnumbered in the board vote. Abby's going to vote too, so it looks like everyone is going to vote to de-merge Chancellor Winters. Devon is going to vow to protect his family legacy, and of course Jill is going to lose patience with Billy, but it looks like the demerger is going to happen and Chancellor and Winters will be separated. Okay, and we'll have to see down the road too if the Abbott name is added to Chancellor, if he becomes Abbott Chancellor. Of course, Winters is probably going to, if that's going to be Winters or Hamilton Winters, right? Also, we know that Devon and Lily have this long-term plan to demerge the companies, so step one is going to be complete, and then Lily is then going to move over to work with Devon, so we'll see if that continues or if Lily decides to stay with Chancellor. Chance also is going to question Billy's motives, so there's definitely a lot of chaos going on at CW, or maybe it's ACW, but it's definitely just C and W at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on all of the shakeups going on in the corporate world over at Chancellor Winters, formerly known as Chancellor Winters. Over in Paris, Traci and Alan will share a warm moment, and I have to ask you, do you think this is legitimate? Is this a real romance between Traci and Alan? Let's hope that it is. Of course, I've had my concerns, and I've brought up the idea, and you have too, that maybe Alan is not really Alan, or that maybe Alan has an ulterior motive. We know what happened on the balcony that night. There was some time period between what happened there. Could Martin have fooled them all? Is he really the one that survived? Is Alan actually Martin? Okay, let's hope not. Let's hope this is a nice romance. But Traci and Alan will share a kiss, and we'll see Traci really being very happy about that. And hopefully this is a nice romance and a nice story for Traci. Abby's also going to arrive too in Paris to check on her mom, Ashley. And, Abby usually has a pretty good instinct about things too. So I'm wondering if Abby's going to be over there, if she'll notice something is off with Alan maybe. Of course, Traci's good at that too, but so far, Alan hasn't shown any kind of strange behavior, so maybe Alan really is Alan, and this will be a nice romance for Traci. Let's hope that's what it is. And also this week, we have to talk about Sharon. Of course, we know that Mariah has noticed Sharon acting strange. She's been distant at times. Of course, we know there's been a change in Sharon's medication. Is that legitimate, or is there some sinister figure working behind the scenes? Of course, that could just be me getting ahead of myself a little bit, but there does seem to be this big storyline coming with Sharon, and we know Sharon has been thinking a lot about Cassie lately, okay? And we saw that flashback, that encounter that Sharon had with Daniel, Lucy, and Heather at Society, and then Sharon had that flashback with Daniel, involving Cassie. Does Sharon blame Daniel on some level for what happened to Cassie all those years ago? Will Sharon now go after Lucy? We've seen Lucy and Faith have these scenes. They've been talking about teenager stuff and stuff like that. So we know all the things that Faith has gone through. Will something happen with Lucy and maybe Faith, and maybe Sharon does something, drastic? We'll have to keep an eye on that. But there's some momentum building up that maybe Sharon will go off the rails a little bit. So let's hope not, but let's hope everything works out there. But it does look like we're going to get a storyline with Sharon dealing with her condition, and it could lead to some trouble for some characters, maybe Daniel, maybe Lucy. So we'll have to see if the summer brings that about. But it's going to be another exciting week. The Victor Jack, the Newman Abbott feud is going to go to the next level this week. So there's a lot going on. Traci and Adam, okay? There's a surprise there happening this week. So let me know your thoughts on what you think about this exciting 4th of July week. And hey, if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.